Told you this was a bad idea.
I just hope you remember how to put them back together.
For sure.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Coop's House. I'm Hunter.
I'm Braden. We're hanging out here in the shop in this Florida heat. It's probably at least 100 degrees in here. Unfortunately, we haven't gotten to the point where the shop's actually air conditioned yet. Maybe one day we'll get there. I guess we'll see. But on last week's video, we promised that this week's episode was going to be a tear down of the Squarebody build. So we're going to get it moved in, and we're not going to waste a whole lot of time. We're going to jump right into it and get started.
I mean, we only got, what, 7 hours of daylight left?
Something like that. So let's jump right in. Alright, so we got the truck in the shop. We're going to start the tear down. First of all, we're going to take everything loose from the fenders inside the engine bay, and we're going to take the front clip off. We'll move to the bed, take the bed off. We're going to save the cab for last because we're going to have all the wiring and everything that we have to worry with. So we're going to get after it and get this took apart. So here we go. Alright guys, so as you can see, front clip's gone. As you can see in the other part of the video, my papa got kind of bored sitting here, so he decided just to take the doors off the cab. So the doors are gone. So now we're going to go ahead, we're going to unbolt the bed. I believe there's 6, maybe 8 bolts in it. I think it's maybe 8, something like that. So we'll go with that. So there's 8 bolts in the bed. I'm going to roll under there, take those loose. Then the bed's going to be ready to come off. Then all we have to do, we're going to go ahead and strip all the AC stuff out of it. We're going to take the wiring out and all that good stuff. And then the cab will be ready to unbolt and come down, and we'll have just an empty frame. So let's keep going. We missed recording, actually, taking all the bolts out because the phone overheated. So we had to put the phone in the refrigerator to cool it down so we could record again. So anyway, yeah, let's get this thing outside. Let's get the bed off. All right, so we finally got the truck bed unbolted. I guess whoever owned this truck went down the frame rail and actually added a bunch of extra bolts because the bed was rotten. So to keep the bed on, I guess they decided they needed more bolts down the frame rail. So anyway, finally found all those, got them loose, pulled the wiring out, all that good stuff. So the bed's ready to come off. So we rolled the truck out. We have a little more room. So we're gonna pull this thing off. So let's get after it. So the bed's finally off. You definitely need more than 2 people for this. This long wheelbase, all steel, old Chevy bed is insanely heavy. We needed at least 2 more people. It would have been a heck of a lot easier. So anyway, it's finally off. We had one vent hose that was still hooked to the bottom of the bed from the rear end. So we forgot to take that off, had to take that off. And one of the bolt heads that we had to cut off that we couldn't get off earlier actually got caught in the frame, so we fought that. But it's finally off, so there's that. That being said, I'm not really looking forward to having to pull the cab. I don't know how we're going to do that yet, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So anyway, yep, I guess we're going to get the bed moved and get the truck pushed back in the shop, and we're going to figure out the next step. What's up, guys? So we're back on day 2 of the Squarebody teardown on this soggy Florida Thursday afternoon. It's absolutely flooding outside right now. So anyway, last night we got the front clip off, got the bed took off. Pretty much now we're to the point where we need to rip everything out of the cab, unbolt the cab, and get the cab off. And then that way we're down to a bare frame, and at that point we can start taking suspension off, getting ready to blast the frame. So let's get the ball rolling. Alright guys, so we were ready to take the cab off. I do want to go ahead and apologize. Unfortunately, we had some issues with the camera, so we completely missed out on recording, removing the wiring harness, the AC stuff, everything. So I apologize for that. We'll try to be better about that in the future. But cab's unbolted, ready to come off, and we're going to be down to a frame. So we're about to flip this thing off here. I guess at this point we should say something like, don't try this at home or perform by professionals. Not really. But anyway, here we go. What? Alright guys, so we got the truck stripped down to the bare frame. And that's going to be as far as we're going to get for this week's episode. Next week, the game plan is to go ahead and start stripping all the suspension down, get the rear end out from under it, and get the frame ready to sandblast. We'll see how far we get. But we appreciate you guys watching, appreciate the support. So if you don't mind, hit the like button down at the bottom and go ahead and subscribe so you can keep up with when we post new videos and keep up with this build. If you can call it that. So, all right, guys, we appreciate you, and we'll see you next week. Oh, yes. Nothing's working up. Right, go. Crispy.